Memorial Day, of course, is to honor those that gave their life in service to the country. You know, a lot of times we commemorate Memorial Day by thanking a veteran. Nothing wrong with that, but that's what Veterans Day is for. Memorial Day is to remember those that never came home, whether they died in combat or they died in sickness or something like that. And so when I found this grave, there's a lot of graves in this cemetery of veterans. This is the only one I know of that died in service to his country. This gentleman, his name was Eaph Anderson. It says on his gravestone, Eaph, son of Joe and Julia Anderson, born February 11th, 1891, died at Camp Beauregard, Louisiana, December 1st, 1917. Private in Company D, 154th Infantry. He did his duty. So I researched Eaph Anderson a little bit. He was from this area. The census records show that he was from, some say Atkins, some say Point Remove, which is where this is. So in this area, his grandfather is buried right over here. He died in 1890. So the family had been in the area for quite a while. Eaph Anderson enlisted in Company D out of Morrilton, where it was Company D was raised. It originally was the 3rd Arkansas Infantry of the Arkansas National Guard. When they arrived in Camp Beauregard, Louisiana, which is just outside of Pineville, which I think is near, New Orleans, but they were reorganized into the 154th Infantry, and it was it's a federal designation, and they were then again put as part of the 39th Infantry Brigade, and they were there at Camp Beauregard to train. That's what they were there for, was to train and get ready. He was drafted in July of 1917. He was 26 years old when he was drafted. He went to Camp Beauregard and died on December 1st. So he was in the Army for less than 5 months. So I wondered, how did he die? You know, he died obviously in camp. His unit never saw combat at all until 1918. So he didn't die of wounds in battle. But Camp Beauregard, because of so many people, it was the largest training camp during World War I at that point in time, and it became very large even more after this. And as you might expect, with a lot of people coming in from different parts of the country, most of the 154th Infantry was Arkansas, Mississippi, and Louisiana boys. And so a lot of these boys are coming from rural areas. They've been kind of isolated their whole life. They come into this one gigantic camp with 30,000 men with other companies and other brigades. And diseases that these guys had never seen before are now sweeping through the camps. In November and December of 1917, there was a really bad measles epidemic. There was a really bad meningitis epidemic that swept through Camp Beauregard, and it claimed the lives of quite a few. In fact, more men died of disease at Camp Beauregard from that unit than died in combat later on in the war. We don't know exactly what killed Private Anderson, but could it have been measles? Could it have been meningitis? Could it have been a number of other disease? Could have had an accident. We don't know what happened. The Spanish flu epidemic in 1918 swept through and killed over 400 people in just a matter of a couple weeks. So it was a very dangerous place to be, more dangerous than the battlefield. But he died on December 1st, and then was brought back home to be buried. And he's buried right here in his family plot. Of course, like I said, we know he's buried here. His grandfather's there. Some of these other plots in between, don't really know who's there. Other family members for sure. But this stone, up until about 2 hours ago, was flat in the mud. And it's been that way for a long time. I've been out here coming to the cemetery for over about 2.5 years, and it's been laying down that whole time. Who knows how long before that. But it's been laying flat, it's been neglected, as most of the cemetery has, so we decided we wanted to fix it up, and that's how we wanted to spend our Memorial Day. Not going to the lake, nothing wrong with enjoying ourselves, but we wanted to do something to give back. Even if he'll never appreciate it, but you know, he did his duty, as the stone says, and he gave his life in service to his country. And so we wanted to show our gratitude by fixing his headstone, planting some flags, and just being here to remember him. There are some people that are related to him still alive. I invited them out. They weren't able to make it. but we wanted to make sure that somebody didn't forget about him. And so, does anybody have any questions about him? I pretty much said everything I know, but I might know something.
So it was 400 that died in a matter of weeks at the Camp Beauregard?
Yeah. That was during the Spanish flu.
Yeah.
That was even after he died.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got a question in relation to the deaths in battlefield overall. Like, how does that compare to, statistically to how many died at the Camp Beauregard?
I don't remember the exact number. I think there was about the 39th Infantry Brigade, so the brigade that included his regiment. There was, I think, about 2,000 battlefield casualties, or 2,000 casualties through the whole war. Only a handful of those were actually killed. There was quite a few number, I think over 1,000 that were wounded or captured, and over 1,000 that died of disease. So over half of their casualties came from disease, whether it's from the trenches in France or from camp in Louisiana. The other thing about being in Louisiana is just as bad as here, probably worse, is mosquitoes. And they spread disease quickly. But that's about all I know about Private Anderson. I'd like to find more information. I am going to try to apply for an actual VA headstone to place here. Maybe next time we come out, we'll have that ready. But, I did treat it with a D2 cleaner, which is it's bio-safe, but it kills moss and stuff that builds up on it. It'll kill that off, and may not ever be shiny white again, but it'll look pretty good once that stuff's had a chance to work and rain gets on it and washes it all off. So that's pretty much it. Thank you all for coming and being a part of it.